Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to sit down and do an all drugstore get ready with me. I know that a couple weeks ago I uploaded my full face of everything under $10. I'm not going to follow that rule today. Some of these are more expensive than $10, but they're all from the drugstore. I usually shop my drugstore makeup at Walmart and Target and then the drugstore side of Ulta. Now I know I'm not alone in this, but I love a good drugstore find. I grew up with my mom and my sister not really wearing a ton of makeup, so I didn't really have my mom going out and purchasing makeup for me when I started to get into it, just because she wasn't super into it, so I was kind of on my own buying it, which was totally fine. I've had a job since I was 16. I was okay with it, but because of that, I was always into drugstore makeup because that's all I could afford back then. I can afford a little bit more expensive makeup than that now that I'm like in my career and I'm a 5th year teacher and all that. Not that teachers get paid very much. We all know this. Regardless, I still love a good drugstore find. So that is what we are going to do today. A full face of drugstore makeup. Before I get started though, I want to tell you two things. One, if you see this on my neck, it is not a hickey. I was scratching my neck and my skin was like, oh, you touched me? Pfft. Rash, because that's how sensitive my skin is. And two, I upload every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday for you guys. Don't forget that. But yeah, if you want to see my full face of drugstore makeup, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I went ahead and put my e.l.f. Line and Define eye tapes on. I love these. They're only like $2 or $3, and they are so great for just like helping you trace out a sharp line if you need it. And there's 40 in here, but I clearly cut them in half because they're just a little too long for my eyes if I don't. But yeah, I love these things. We are going to use one of really my favorite palettes ever. It just so happens to be from the drugstore, and it is the BH Cosmetics Smitten in Switzerland palette. I absolutely love this palette. The shades are so incredibly beautiful, and I am so excited to use this today. I haven't used it in a while. The eye look that I have in mind, I'm a little nervous for, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. Hopefully well. But yeah, we're going to see because I don't know. Okay, we're gonna start off with this Montreux shade right here, and we're going to just pack that pretty much all over the eye. Right now I have a matte look in mind, but that might change and I might add some shimmer to it. Okay, now we're going to take this Green Mountain shade down at the bottom. We're just gonna like smoke it along the lower lash line pretty thickly. That's not a word, thickly? Pretty thick. Don't worry guys, I'm a teacher. I'm teaching the youth of America. And I am going to take it up into the crease. Okay, now we have it pretty much mapped out on our eyes, and my idea is I want it to have like a dark brown wing and then like the green behind it smoked out. So now we're gonna take chocolate and a flat definer brush and make a wing right on top of the green, but a more like defined wing since the green is like really blown out. Yeah, like that. Ooh, okay. Then I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and go back into that Green Mountain shade and just kind of like smoke it out a little bit here. Make sure there's no harsh lines. I'm gonna take a little packer brush, which I know you're not really supposed to use these with mattes, but I'm going to. It's just a lot smaller than what I used before. And we're gonna bring that Montreux shade back. I want that definition. I don't want it to be like all green. Okay, I like that. I think I'm gonna leave the eyes there for now. I might add some shimmer later, I'm not sure, but I'm really liking how that is looking. So for the drugstore primer I picked, I know I'm kind of cheating a little bit with Colourpop. Some people consider Colourpop drugstore, some people don't. I do. I think they're very, very affordable, and they're all on the drugstore side of Ulta. So we're gonna put the Pretty Fresh primer all over my face, and then in my T-zone, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And then next up for foundation, we're going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Up to 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I have the shade 400 Pearl. It used to be the lightest one they made, but I actually think they expanded their shade range, and now it's probably like the second or third lightest. I'm a little nervous. I haven't used this in a while, so I'm hoping that I like how it looks on my skin. I mean, I used up one complete bottle of it in the past and then repurchased it, so I mean, I liked it at one point, but you know how you haven't used something in a while and you like forget what you think of it? And then you're like, ooh, do I like it? Do I not? That's how I'm feeling right now. Okay, I'm actually liking how this looks on my skin. It is looking a little bit dry on my nose and a little bit dry on my like forehead and around my mouth, but it covered up a good amount of what I needed it to, and it's looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm impressed with how this is wearing right now. I only have 3 drugstore concealers. I have the Makeup Revolution one, which I used in my Everything Under $10, and then my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and then my Colourpop Pretty Fresh. So we're just gonna use the Pretty Fresh one today. It's gonna be a little bit dark with this foundation, but that's okay. It seems to do what my Dose of Colors concealer does, where it oxidizes as it's sitting there on your skin, but when you go to blend it out, it goes back to its, you know, normal true color in the tube. It's so funny how some concealers do that. Okay, I went ahead and blended out my concealer and set my face with my Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. I love this. I have the shade Fair 05. Such a good powder. Let me know if you don't mind me doing that off camera. I just feel like it's such a boring step to see me like press powder on my face with a brush. So let me know down below if you want me to start putting that back in. A lot of the stuff I do off camera because it's just like boring to watch, like my brows, mascara, powder, that kind of stuff. As I'm sitting here trying to pick out my products, I did not plan ahead. I was like, oh, I have plenty of drugstore products. Like, I'll just pick them as I go, whatever I'm feeling in the moment. And like, I don't have as much drugstore products as I feel like I thought I did. So I'm gonna have to work on that. But next up for a bronzer, we're gonna use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzer. I've talked about this on my page many, many times. It is a wonderful bronzer. Has a little bit of sheen to it, so it makes you look nice and healthy and glowy, which we love to see, or at least I do. And I don't know why I don't have more drugstore products. Like, I really do love drugstore products. I don't want you to think I'm snobby and I don't like them, but I definitely need to go peruse the makeup aisle in Target or Wally World and see what I'm missing out on. Or I guess I could always check out a store near me called Meijer. Like this video if you know that Jessica Brown reference. I actually do have a Meijer near me. I don't shop there. It's in like the town over, the town that I work in, and it's not on my way home, and it's kind of out of the way to go there, so I actually don't really shop there, but I have been to Meijer quite a few times before in the past. I freaking love Jessica Brown, so just throwing that out there. For blush today, I'm going to use the Colourpop Fresh N Peachy blush. I don't know if this is still available. It was from their peach collection, and that was a while ago. We all know that Colourpop doesn't keep a ton of stuff in stock, so I don't know if it is still available, but any peach blush will do. And then before we put our highlighter on, I'm going to go ahead and take my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder and use it how I always use it. Gonna run it under my eyes and just brighten this area up and my T-zone and up under my contour. For highlight today, we're going to use the Tribe Highlighter Volume 3 by Juvia's. This is a blinding highlight and I love it. It's definitely one of my favorites. I feel like a lot of the products I'm using, I may not have a ton of drugstore products, but a lot of the ones that I'm using, I feel like are my favorites that I use a lot. So even though I don't have a lot of drugstore, the ones I have, I just love. Went ahead and just ran that Green Mountain shade along my lower lash line. And now for brows, we're gonna use the Milani Weekend Brow Eyebrow Tint Pen. It's gonna be the 3rd time I use this, and I think I like it. I think I'm still getting the hang of it and trying to figure out exactly like how to use it, how to make it look natural and like hair strokes, but this is the first pen type product I've tried, and so far think I like it. Okay. For mascara, I cheated just a little bit because I've been absolutely obsessed with the Grande Cosmetics Mascara Primer. So I had to use that, but then I also topped it with the Pixi by Petra Large Lash Mascara, which this is drugstore mascara. I cannot find like a holy grail amazing drugstore mascara. I don't know why. I feel like every single one I try, it's just like okay, but it never like blows me out of the water. So I'm still in the hunt for that. But for lips, we're gonna go ahead and use the Maybelline Lifter Gloss with hyaluronic acid. I have the shade Stone. I love these glosses. Such a pretty shade in a really nice formula, not too gloopy or gloppy or sticky or anything like that. They smell good and they are just very, very beautiful. Lastly, for setting spray, we're gonna go ahead and use the Colourpop Allstar Face Setting Spray. Love this setting spray. I also love the Catrice ones, but I use that in my last Get Ready With Me. And the Wet n Wild ones are actually really, really good. I love the natural finish one, and even the matte one isn't too drying or too bad. I just don't have any of them right now. I use them all up and haven't repurchased them, but they're also really great drugstore setting sprays. And that was it, you guys. That was my Get Ready With Me using all drugstore products. A lot of these are just my favorites that I really genuinely love and use very often. Go ahead and drop your favorite drugstore product down below for me. Since I said I don't have as much as I really honestly thought I did, I would love to discover more goodies at the drugstore. So go ahead and let me know what your favorite drugstore product is. Anything you can get at like Walmart, Target, the drugstore, and Ulta, anything like that. Usually they all carry the same brands, but let me know down below your favorites. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the look that I made, and I hope it inspires you to go play with some makeup. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.